Hello YouTubers, my name is Harold Carter and I'm the battery guy. I make battery packs for e-bikes, for scooters, lawnmowers, whatever you need. First I want to caution you, I use the lipo 18250 batteries, and lipo batteries are touchy. You have problems if you put a short on them or if you overheat them. And my problems, I mean, they might even explode, they burn. You've seen it on the news. So you want to be very careful. To begin with, I'm going to show you how I make a 36 volt battery pack. This particular one is for a lawnmower. To start off with, I use these battery holders. I use them because I have tried welding, spot welding. I do have a spot welder, and other ways of fastening the batteries together. I find this is the easiest when you need to troubleshoot or repair one. Okay. I use for the 36 volt one, you use 10, so I use 2 of these that are 4s and one of them that is 2. I fasten them together with H66 vinyl cement. I'm going to try, but I have not yet, Gorilla contact cement or super glue. I'm kind of looking forward to trying that. Might be easier to apply. I apply the glue to the ends of the 2 of them. I then place them against the stop to help hold them straight, and even the stop on the back side, and then I hold them like that for about 2 minutes until the glue starts to set. There's the stop. There's the stop on the back side, and of course the end is with my hand. When all 3 of them are together, I then have something that looks like this. Might be better if I put the camera down and hold the workpiece up. And you see the piece of wood that I've added in the center. That is a paddle stick that I buy from Walmart in their arts and crafts section. I bought a package of them. They're pretty cheap, but they're stiff. They add a lot of strength to it, and you just cut off the extra that you don't need for the one. The next step is they have to be jumpered together. I start going on, I'll call this one pin 1. I'm going to call this next to it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. On pin 1, I put a red test lead wire. It's 18 gauge. I run it out, and I run it out to an XT connector. The XT connectors are good for 30 amps. They come 2 in a package when I buy them. One of them is male, that one. and the other is female. On the end of that cable, I am using the male, and the red goes to the square end. The black goes to the slanted end. That way you cannot, when you plug them together, you cannot get them wrong. They just won't plug in. Now you have to jumper all of the wires, all of them together to connect them in series. So I go over the pin right straight over from 1, and I had counted these 1 through 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be pin 11, and I connect 11 and 12 together like so with jumper wire. The jumper wire that it takes to do one of them is 2 inches. I loop it around one pin, around the other pin, and back to that pin and loop it around it. I then solder that connection, and I'm going to get it to where you can see it. And I use a soldering gun. You can use a soldering iron, of course. The only thing that's important about it is the wattage. It needs to be somewhere between 100 watts and 120 watts, and that's where it'll solder fast enough that you don't melt the plastic. If you use a lower wattage iron, you have to hold it on longer in order to make the solder flow, and you can melt the plastic. So I solder together pin 11 and 12. Let's see where you can see them. Well, here's one. You solder together 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. And 10 has the black wire on it. You come over to here, to the other side, opposite 1, and that would be pin 11 and 12 go together, 13 and 14, and so forth. When they're all finished, then it's hooked up to all you have to do is insert the batteries. And when I go to insert the battery, I use Samsung batteries. I've bought other brands. I find Samsung to be the most dependable, that what you order is what you get. They're not misrepresented. I use a felt tip pin, and I mark the plus end and the minus end. Very important. Make it very conspicuous, because polarity is everything in any battery hookup. Now the big reason that I use this system is, you see, I'm taking this tool is made as wood. It's made from a skewer. It's that way because I won't get a short circuit with it. I put it at the plus end of the battery, pry up, and you can snap the battery right out. So if you have a bad battery when you're troubleshooting, it's very easy to take them out. To put them in, I put the minus end in first, and then snap the plus end in place. Now, when the battery pack is completed, I take my meter, and this part I seem to have the most trouble getting this to where you can see the meter and what I'm doing at the same time. A little bit from the back. Meter a little bit higher, camera a little bit higher, and there's the leads. This you have to be very careful about. It's easy to short out. The plus lead on the red, on the pin that the red is hooked to, the minus lead on the other one there, 36 volts. Good battery pack. The next step, I take a roll of duct tape, and I split the duct tape to where it's only half the width, and I put it over the connectors and down over the side. I do that with both sides. That helps keep me from getting a short. Now, that battery pack using the 25 Rs is capable of 2.5 amps, and it'll run 2.5 amps for 1 hour. That isn't enough for mowing my lawn, so I hook 3 together. The way I hook 3 together is I make an adapter. It has 3 of the XT connectors, minus in. The reds are all hooked together, and then to a fuse. This is the fuse holder, 20 amps. They're soldered together, and then shrink tubing. The black one, the 3 are soldered together, and they don't go through the fuse, they go straight through to the output connector. The red from the fuse holder, of course, goes to the output connector. I try to use shrink tubing on all of the connections, and that one is a plus. So when I hook that is a male. When I hook the battery up, see the battery has a male on it, it'll plug into one of these females. When like so, I plug in the other 2 battery packs, and then at the output I still got 36 volts, but it's got 3 times the amps. So and this with the 2.5 R with the 25 Rs, that's 2.5 amps for each battery pack, so it comes out to be 7.5 amps. I like to use the 35R, and then you would be 10.5 amps, I believe, 11.5 amps. I'll get it right in a minute. 3 to 10. 3 to 3 is 9. 3 to 7 is 21. So it'll be 11.1 amps. And that will run that lawnmower like a charm, and will cut my entire backyard and front yard, both. I offer kits for sale for any battery pack that you want. I'll make up a kit and sell them to you, or I'll build battery packs for you, or I will repair battery packs for you. My email address is campgroundinfo1999@gmail.com, and you can contact me for a quote. Please like this video and subscribe, and then you'll be aware when my next one comes out, which will be on my universal power supply that I've built. That my charger, it will charge any battery that's from 1.5 volts up to a 50 volt battery, and it's capable of putting out 10 amps, so it does it pretty fast. Any voltage in between there, so it's a universal charger, and really does a good job. That will be my next video. Thank you, and again, please subscribe and like. Bye.